Hello everyone, I'm Mixical. Welcome to my Yuushya tutorial on adding pipes and drains and grime all over the buildings and also lighting. It's very dark here, isn't it? So what we're going to do first is make some street lights. In this chest I have a street light and a medieval street pole. I also have a Green Gourd and a GUI tool which I use for everything. First I'm going to put these poles in and then I'm going to stick the street light in. Done. Okay, what you can do is use the Green Gourd to turn into an entity and use the GUI tool to reposition it and add the brightness. Let's do that again over here. First, right-click the lamp with the Green Gourd. That turns it into an entity. Right-click the street light with the GUI tool and you can reposition the light however you want, change the brightness to whatever level you want, and you can also rotate it so it's a little bit different. In this example, I'm putting it sort of inside the pole a little bit. That's perfectly allowed. And it does look rather good when it's finished, doesn't it? A bit different. I'm also just going to push it up a bit on the y-axis, and I've got a street lamp that sort of fits the corner. I'm very happy with that. Let's do it one more time over here. So first 4 high, put the light in, turn it into an entity, then right-click with the GUI tool, turn the brightness up, and then reposition the lamp wherever you want it to be. That's perfect, and I'm happy with that. So now let's move on to dealing with grime. In this chest I have a lot of things you can use to make rooms and areas completely dirty. Let's take the Green Gourd and the GUI tool and then just burst the chest so I can pick up all the other stuff. First I want to use this iron tall door. It looks awful. Put it in, it's a disgrace. But that's the point. Okay, now that's finished, let's look at making a scroll door. I'll keep the wire as well, I'll be using that in a minute. Burst away this wall first. That's plenty big. Put the scroll door in and you've got a nice panel in. I quite like that. If you put them on the wall and turn them to entities, just like the street light, you can put them into the wall on the Z-axis like this, copy the code, and then apply the code from the top bar. That's pretty good too. I've got myself like a ventilation system, I guess. It does look pretty cool like that, and it's dirty. That's the point. Next thing we can look at is putting some barbed wire in. Barbed wire is just wire on the list and it's gross, so let's put that in. I don't want anybody climbing up on the roof. Turn all of those into entities. What you can do here is shift them in and rotate them however you wish. I like the idea of having the barbed wire in the wall a little bit. You can paste the code and then you can rotate them a bit to make it look a bit more like people have changed it. It's moved around a bit. Let's wait for those things to move off the screen and then you can see. It does say mod lack, but I don't know why. It doesn't seem to be lacking to me. That seems pretty good. The barbed wire is there and it's gross. I'm happy with that. Now what we can do is also find another light. I still find it to be a bit dark here. So in the Yuushya mod there's loads of lights and I like this square one for outdoor areas because it's like a utility light, nothing fancy. You can also have an exit sign. So let's just select this exit sign here and put it to the bottom of the wall there. It looks like it's clipping, so turn it into an entity again, bring the brightness up. You could have it as a light source, you know? I like that. That's the exit area. Why not? That's great. So let's just throw that exit sign away and look at water stains. You can put the water stain top here just to make it look fancy and the water stain bottom like that as well. Pretty good. I like that. You can't put them there because it's too close to the other one. You can put them there, but let me show you what happens if you do. If you put them there like that and turn them to entities, it just turns it really black. It's not very good, so I would advise not putting it on corners. You can do it with other things like blinds, but not this. It looks horrible. I like the horrible, but not like that. No. It's really bad. You can also search for broken lists. And the broken lists and maybe some posters add an extra bit of detail to your horrible, gross area. I like the idea of that. People have been putting posters up, you know, things you don't want to read really. Advertisements for cement or something. I don't know. Put those up here. Another water stain. You can also find some posters to put on the walls. Make it look unloved. This is the area for utility. Nothing goes on here. It's just a drop-off zone for trash. You can also put cobweb in if you want to. That looks cool. Now, to add a bit more grime in this area, I want to add some graffiti. So you can just stick the graffiti on the wall. I advise don't turn that one into an entity because it makes the orange line a bit thicker and it's not very good. Let's add some bins. So there's a bin here. That'll do. I'll just get rid of that one. Put the bin here. This recycle bin 0 and recycle bin 1. With the wrench, which is also another powerful tool from the Yuushya mod, you can open the lid or close it. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Let's add some flies there because it stinks. Now there's a bunch of stuff in the way that the flies are a bit too far out, so remove that list and the flies make it look like there's trash in there. The fireflies can be used in trees to make it look more like a wooded natural area, but in urban environments they're going to be hanging around where it stinks. Now let's look at doing wires. I'm going to take this black wire, nothing else. I only need the Green Gourd and the GUI tool. Here you can put the wire. Oh, it's too far out, you see, it's not going to connect. So let's do that again. Put the wire over here, just get rid of that one, all the way to the side. It touches the end. What you can do here is leave it like that if you want to. Put in another wire. This is also a good idea, but I find them to be too far out. So turn all of these wires into entities, and then this one you can shift it up, maybe across a bit further out. Go back in there, copy the code at the top, and then apply the code all the way along this line. It does appear those things at the side there. Look, share code copy, mod lag, mod lag. How is mod lag? It's working. I guess it's something to do with the network capacity of this. I don't really know. It's mod lag. Great, yeah. Let's add another wire because I want it to look really gross. Not sure where I'm going to put this one. Maybe here. Just put them all the way across like that. Being careful not to go too far. You've got to be careful with that because the block, you know, is a block, but you just can't see it. You can only see the wire part. So turn all of these into entities. The same thing. Maybe you can shift that one across. Maybe move it down a bit. Maybe move it there. That looks good. I should really copy the code, but I forgot. So what you've got to do is copy the code here, like that. Apply all of these into entities, right-clicking them as I go along. Try and be careful not to right-click too much stuff. Apply the code all the way along like that. Pretty cool. The wire's going in. I'll show you in a second. It looks a bit dark. All I'm doing is applying the code that I copied. Pretty good. And the last one I didn't do, so why is that not there? So this one here, apply the code. It went the wrong way. Well, never mind, I'll put it in again. Here, look, put it in at the end, being very careful with the other block. Turn that one into an entity as well, and then apply the code. Now I've got 3 wires that look different to the normal placements, and I think they look pretty good in a Grime sort of utility zone like this. That's great. So let's head over here to this chest. In this chest I have drains, I'm going to need all 3 of them to show you, and lots of pipes. There's vertical pipes and horizontal pipes. You don't really need the different sides, you only need one of them because you can turn them round anyway, so they're the ones you need. I don't need the wrench and I don't need those, they're pointless. For the corner pieces, again, you only need one of them. I'll take that one. And this T-piece, I don't like to use the T-piece, but you can if you have an elaborate system. Let's take it out, I'll show you what to do with it. You can put it on the wall like that. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you can use the wrench. It says you can use the wrench on that. Let's use the wrench. Oh, it turns it round. Okay, if you want to go for a simplistic build, you could just do that, I suppose. Or the alternative method would be to turn that into an entity and move it around. Let's put the drains in. You can put a drain in here. It is very big, but in the asphalt it looks good. Bring it down to 0.9 and it sits flush in the ground. I quite like that, but I like the big one here because asphalt doesn't make it look weird. You can put the pipes on top, so here look, being careful of the other stuff around. I like to put the mounted pipe at the bottom and then these ones that have no markings up top. Then put that one at the top and I've got a nice pipe system. Go all the way down the pipes, making sure not to touch anything else. Turn those into entities, and what you can do is basically shift it to the side of the wall. This one is Z4 and X-4. Cool. You could copy the code here like I did before and then paste the code in at the top. That's cool. If you paste the code in here, it's worked, but it changes it to the mounted pipe, and I don't want that. So select the vertical pipe in your offhand and replace it with what's in your offhand. That way, you've got it. You make sure you copy the code as well, and then you can paste the code in all the way along. So paste it, and it won't change the design of the pipe to the other one, which is sometimes a bit strange, and I sometimes forget to do that. But that's a basic drain system, it looks good. You can put in extra drainage channels here if you want, make it look a bit longer. I like that. It's pretty good. It sort of terminates at the end there. Put these drainage bits in. I've got a nice little drain system there. I'm going to add some flies. Put the flies here because there's some smelly down there, isn't there? There's some water that the flies like. That's pretty cool. Let's go over here and build another pipe network. So again, put the drain in. This one does look a bit bigger and it is touching the marble this time. I don't like that. So change it to 0.9. That's great. Put in the mounted pipe first. I like that one. Then the normal ones, the vertical one, and then another mounted one here because I'm going to put a corner piece in. Next, you need to put the corner piece. One here, and one here. That's not going to connect properly, or is it? Let's have a look. Turn those into entities like I did before. It's a little bit more complex when you're dealing with corners because there isn't really corners, is there? Shift that close to the wall, just like I did before. You could copy the code if you want to. Apply it at the bottom, but it's going to follow the same principle, isn't it? Back with the Z-axis. I don't want that. I want the x-axis. So bring it back to 0 and push this one back or forward to 4. That's pretty good. You could apply the code there if you want to, or copy it so it doesn't change the design. I want to keep this pipe instead. Another one here. The corner pieces may be a bit trouble, so let's have a look. I want to wait for those things to go off my screen. Please don't tell me mod lag. Okay, you can rotate this one, and it's a bit tricky to do. So 180 degrees that way, 180 degrees that way. I'm trying to figure this one out. Push it to the wall with 4. I always like to use 4. You could change the number any number you want, really. And then put it like that, so it's got a nice angled pipe. Okay, it might not work because the other pipe's a bit too high. Let's rotate that one around as well, 90 degrees. Maybe shift it back 4 like I did, or forward, I guess. Rotate it here this way. Got to make sure it rotates properly. It's not easy to do. It can be a bit of a pain. There we go. And then rotate it that way so it connects. But I also need to connect it upwards, not that way. There we go. It's a little bit wrong. You could have connected it sideways, but never mind. So let's remove those pipes. Let's just have a look. I'll take those ones away and do it again. You could copy that code, paste it in there, and then remove this bit instead. Now I can put the pipes back. Okay, so here I'm going to put this pipe in here, turn that one into an entity, and paste the code from before, so I didn't actually waste too much time. Pretty cool. Turn that one into an entity as well, maybe a bit lower this time. I like that. No, it has to go there to connect. Cool. So turn those into entities again, and then shift that one back again to 4 on the X, I guess, like that, and then rotate it round. A lot of this is trial and error. I've learned it the hard way. I've spent a lot of time doing this, so I do know how to deal with these pipe networks, but they are annoying. I hope with this tutorial you can see that the pipes are pretty interesting to work with, but they are difficult as well. Now that's finished, I'm going to put this bit here. I think it's pretty much done, to be honest. I'm just going to stick this one closer to the wall. You've always got to be a bit careful with that because the other one isn't close to the wall, is it? I'm going to have a bit of trouble here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Let's move it across so it's touching. Now I've got to do the same thing with the bottom pieces. Again, it can be a bit of trouble, so move that 4. I always like to use 4. That's a good number, it seems. And then do the same here. Bring that one down. And then this one as well. You can do it manually or copy the code, but, you know, copying the code is quicker sometimes if you've got a large system. But that's the pipe system complete, and it goes around the corner, and it does look pretty good. It's an interesting thing, and I hope this tutorial's helped. Check out my definitive tips guide if you need more tips. Sometimes you can put the pipes into the wall. I'm going to show you how to do that. Rotate it round like this. Rotate it on that way. It's very complex sometimes. Push it into the wall, and now it looks like the pipe's going in the wall. It's not ideal. It kind of looks like it's kind of hanging out. I would prefer to just terminate it at the top normally. Sometimes if you've got a roof up there, it does look pretty good because you can't see the top part. I don't have a roof, so you can see the top part. It is very annoying. But yeah, that's another way of doing it. You can have the pipe system like that. I think it's pretty good. Put some flies there again because it stinks. Turn those into entities, move them across. Maybe move them up a little bit, move them across like that. Pretty good. I'm very happy with this design. This has been a tutorial video for grime, lights and pipes. If you've liked the video, subscribe. Send me a comment as well if you're having some trouble with the mod. I'm Ixical, and I'll see you next time.